Hello everyone, Gainer here, HDB Upgrading Strategies, and right now we are live again. And today, welcome to my Facebook Live episode 8. Right? I think I just have to apologize because I think probably I started out a little bit late because I'm just preparing a little bit of my lighting, stuff like that. Just want to get my materials ready. Okay, so what will I be talking about today? Actually, just probably a week ago, I met this client of mine, and they actually shared with me about he wants to sell his HDB flat and wants to upgrade into a private property, and he's in fact looking into a private resale. And after I probably I met him and I look at what he has and understanding a bit concerns, I actually shared with him some data, right? Some data that I extracted out immediately, and I showed it to him, and I think he was a little bit shocked, and he didn't really expect that. That's why I think I thought that today it'll be good that I wanted to share with you guys again on this topic, which is today what am I talking about? Which is this today I'll be talking about buying resale private properties and what to look out for. And this is part 1, right? Why am I going to break down into part 1, part 2? Because I think that in the future, I have a lot of HDB upgraders who wanted to buy either a private resale or a new launch, and I will be probably talking about these two residential properties, two types, which is resale and new launch. And I thought that it would be a very good topic because over the next few weeks and months, I'll be getting more and more information or how I'll be meeting a lot of different of my homeowners, and they will be sharing with me their experiences as well. And I thought that it would be good that I can share all my experiences with you guys and what I analyze and my data, stuff like that. That's why this is for those that are coming in, streaming in. What am I going to talk about? This is buying resale private properties and what to look out for, part 1. Right, there will be part 2, part 3, but this will be in the future. It will not be staggered in a way whereby next week will be part 2. It will be a follow-up, right? So not to worry, because this will be shared as we go along. Okay, so for those who are streaming in, please help me. I think if you feel that this topic is important, probably you can help me to share, right? I've already seen some of you guys watching this video. Thank you so much. And once again, this will be the topic: buying resale private properties, what to look out for, part 1. Alright, and in fact I just want to stress this a little bit. This will be a slightly similar to what I shared in episode 4, which is, if I'm not wrong, bad examples of property. But then again, this time round I really want to zoom down. This time round is really zooming down into some I think there's this thing that probably a lot of people might not have noticed it. I've actually addressed this in episode 4, but this time round I really want to look at this so that you guys will understand where am I coming from. Okay, so I'll be pulling out 2 examples, which I've put 2 property examples. One is this Centries. I did mention this before, but I just thought that this is actually a good example that I wanted to highlight to you guys. Now, Centries, for those people who know about this place, this is actually a Jurong, and it's just above the MRT station, right? Above the shopping mall, stuff like that. So in terms of location, it's fantastic. Now, why I put this information again is because my owner that I mentioned, that I met this week, he actually wanted to, I'm not too sure whether this is similar to you guys, or probably this is one of your favorite plan. He actually, because you see, he has a boy, I think he has a kid. His kid is still studying in primary school, and probably now is in the primary 2 or primary 3, and he still has another 3 to 4 years more before completing his P6, right? So at the same time, he's staying in HDB and he wants to upgrade to a private property, right? He wants to upgrade to a private property, and probably just upgrade as a form of upgrading. But then again, he wants to buy a resale because he doesn't want to affect his kids that are studying currently at that particular school, right? And I think that this is a very, very similar situation to quite a lot of different people. I mean, quite a lot of people who are HDB homeowners as well, right? You have your kids, you put your kids studying here, and then and you have the thought of upgrading, but then again you wanted to upgrade to a private property that is just nearby because you doesn't want to disturb your kids study, you know, stuff like that. So I'm very sure that this is something that you guys have in mind, and that's why you probably would not want to venture somewhere that's out of your area. Probably asking you, I mean, just a good example, you wouldn't want to explore going from Jurong to Punggol, right? So these are just some of the things that probably you have in mind, which I'm very sure that you guys are also thinking this as well, right? So that's why I'm pulling out this example. This is Centries. Centries is a private resale condo. I just want to highlight this. If you guys can see, let me know. If you guys can see, just give me some lights, okay? And at least I know that you guys can probably see the information. Now, this property, Centries, right? If I can show to you guys again, I believe that this information. Now, I just want to share with you guys, this is actually the tenure starts from 2006. Now, can you see 2006? What does this mean? This means that it is being, when it was launched, it's probably launched during that time. It was sold during that period of time. Now, it was completed in 2009. Now, this is a very important information that I want to share with you guys. Right? You guys can see this is a very important information. Can you guys see? Now, this is the current indicative price range, which is around 1,131 PSF. And this is the historical high, which is 1,300 plus, and the historical low is in fact 300 over dollars PSF. If I share with you guys this information, I'm not too sure whether you understand from this, but I just share with you this chart again. You can see this is the growth. This is the history from the lowest when it was first launched, all the way it went up, and then it's slightly deep, right? If I actually did an indication here, if you really look at it, the all-time low when it was launched, it was sold, we can probably put around 500 over dollars per square foot, right? The highest actually was this curve. It was around 2014, right? That was when cooling measures started to come out. Then it came all the way down. It was actually around, on the average, this is an average, I just want to highlight again, this is an average. The average was actually $1,125 per square foot. And currently, what is the range? I think probably you guys can see, yeah, the range is actually now is 1,000. So if I can draw this to you guys, and that's why you can have a better idea. This is Centries, right? And this is actually the low point, right? Can you guys see? Good. $500 PSF, right? The highest was actually 1125, and the current is actually around 1,000 PSF. This is the range. This is the current. Right? Now, can you guys see? If you can see, probably you can give me some thumbs up. Right? Okay, so let me repeat that. This is a property, private resale property, and the lowest, that means when it was first launched, the launch price was actually $500 PSF. Now, thanks for people who have been liking. Thanks a lot. Now, the highest historical high, I'll put here, historical high, right? That means the highest it went up. It went up $1,225 PSF. Now, these are all average, right? Of course, if you go in to compare, you go inside the, some of the URA, or, or some of the data you could try to extract. Those are individual transactions. They are PSF. Of course, it will not be the same as this. This is average. They collate every month, stuff like that. And then they come out on average. But I think this will be a good indicator for you to understand. It went all the way to historical high $1,100, 1125 PSF. And the current, which is today, is probably around $1,000 PSF. Now, so my owner, my client was just, he didn't think a lot. Honestly speaking, he didn't think a lot in terms of investment point of view. He was just looking that, hey, maybe, you know, because my kid is studying in Jurong, this area, and probably I just want to sell my place and upgrade to a private property. He thought that it would be good to just upgrade to a good location, right? This is a fantastic location. He thought that he wants to just go to a good location and just probably invest in that place while not affecting his kids, you know, the schooling, you know, stuff like that, the distance, which I'm very sure that is very common concern with most of the homeowners as well. But the thing is that this is the current value, this is the historical high, and this is the historical low, which is during it was launched. Now, if you can see this, what I've drawn, right? This, in fact, is what I call a potential risk. And this is your, if I can draw here, if you can see, potential gain. Potential risk, potential gain. Now, meaning to say, if today you want to buy a $1 million property and you have to make, of course, you have to pay the first 25% down payment, right? So the first 25% is $250,000 because you're taking a 75% loan. Meaning to say, if today your down payment is $250,000, down payment is $250,000. Would you want to put your $250,000 of down payment into a property that has a potential risk of this amount, hoping that there will be a potential gain of this amount? Meaning to say, what is the potential risk? 1,000 to 500 is probably $500 PSF, correct? Whereas this is the potential gain is probably what, $100 and $25 PSF. Meaning you say today if you buy at here, hoping that it will go up by here. Whereas if there is another correction, right? Just give you an example. If there's another correction, this is the possible loss. Of course, I'm not saying that it will go all the way down to this level because I don't think it may go to this level. But given this is the red zone can be something that you might want to think about, right? If you guys understand where I'm coming from, probably, you know, you can help me to comment, or probably you can help me to just like this, and at least I understand that you guys really know where am I coming from. Okay, once again, this is episode 8, right? For those who are streaming in to watch, if I can show you again, this is the topic. If you guys have missed my initial introduction, buying resale private properties, what to look out for, part 1, right? And this is in fact an add-on to my episode 4, which I did mention this, but I don't think I really emphasize on this, because this time round, what am I going to emphasize is I'm emphasizing on this. You're paying a $250,000 of deposit because you're buying a $1 million property, and the potential gain is probably just $125 per square foot versus the potential risk that you might have, right, at around $500 per square foot, right? In fact, this is just one of the property. If I can, I just want to share with you guys another one, right? And later, probably I just give you some recommendations that probably you might, you know, you probably can think about it and see what you can, you know, you can probably do about it, right? Right? Probably I'll just leave this here because we are just talking about $1 million property. Okay. The next one. Now just now was talking about Jurong. So this time around, I will be talking about this, Whitewater. Anyone knows about Whitewater? Right? Those who are staying in Pasir Ris. right? Then again, I need to give I need to give a disclaimer. I'm not saying that these properties are not for you to buy, right? Of course, by all means, you want to buy any properties, it's really up to you. Whatever that I shared in my Facebook Live is just my opinion and something that I think is logical, because when I talk about property investment, I think, to me, I think it's important that we look in a very logical way how we move forward. But then again, I do understand that many of the homeowners have all the different concerns, which I think is important that, you know, probably we can see how we can at best address, right? So once again, Whitewater is actually an EC, right? Like something, I mean, this is a little bit blur, but hopefully I think you guys can, you know. So Whitewater, this is actually an EC. It was, in fact, the tenure was 2002, right? And it was completed, if I'm not wrong, 2005, right? And one thing we just want to look at this, the current indicative price range is actually $700 over per square foot. Historical high actually went up to 908, if I'm not wrong. Yep, $908 per square foot. And in fact, the historical low was $313 per square foot, right? But this is only for a, this is for a 1,259 square feet unit, right? But once again, I always refer to this chart just to give you guys a good example, right? So I just want to share this another case study that I have so that you guys will know. Now this is Whitewater. So in Whitewater, just now I was saying it was roughly, because these are just historical per that transaction. So I'm going to share with you on the average, right? So the average, the people who bought during that time when they entered the market was $300 per square foot, right? And the highest was actually at $750 per square foot. In fact, if you really see on the current value now, it actually only went down by $700 by $50 PSF, which is $700, right? So the current value, meaning to say, if today you want to buy this property, right, it only went down to $50 PSF. This is the current value. This is the historical high, and this is the historical low. Okay, can you see such a big difference? This is probably just a difference of $50 PSF, whereas this is probably what, double? So meaning to say, once again, if I can repeat, if today you want to buy a $1 million property, and in here, but I am not too sure whether the prices there is around 1 million. Probably I think it's much lesser, $800,000+, but I'm just giving you guys an example. So this, if you are paying $250,000 of down payment, which is 25% out of the $1 million property. Now you are investing in a property, although it's a resale, although I do understand the fact that you are buying for own stay. Now you are buying a resale property with the history that the historical low was actually $350 per square foot, whereas the historical high was $750 per square foot. And the current value is actually at $700 PSF. Meaning to say, you're hoping you're paying this down payment in the hope that at least it will increase up by that $50 PSF. But your huge potential risk is here, $350 PSF, which is a big gap, right? So if, of course, coming back again, I don't expect it to drop all the way to 350, but at least I just want to emphasize that this is a huge risk that you guys might be facing, right? Now, so then again, do you still buy resale properties? Of course, you can buy resale properties, right? I never say no. You guys have a choice to buy either a resale or a new launch. But the thing is that what I want to give you some of the recommendations is, if today you want to find a resale property, hopefully, right, you can probably find properties that this gap, I will say this whole entire gap is not as big, right? Probably it will be, I mean, probably if let's say the gap is just within here, I think is fair enough. At least you will know that the owners here will not sell much lower because they bought at this price. You get where I'm coming from? Meaning to say, what is the recommendation for you guys is that you will try to find a property, a resale property, right? If you really cannot, I mean, if you really don't want to think about new launches, you just want to buy resale. Now, then of course, this is something that you might want to look, the gap, the potential risk, right? Potential risk, this gap to be as low as possible, as small as possible. Now, of course, it's not easy to find these properties with such low, but I think there are in the market, right? Probably if you really, you know, if you really zoom down, you really see, then you probably can find something, right? Okay, so probably I've already come to the end of this. I really hope you guys like this episode as well. Now, once again, this is actually an add-on for my episode 4, which is examples of examples of some of the bad properties that you might have, right? This is an add-on, but I just want to, this particular topic, I just want to emphasize on this potential gap and looking into the fact that you are using such, because a lot of people don't really see that, you know, because they are in fact paying this down payment in hope for this small gap increase, which they don't see, right? And there is a huge gap that probably they might face. So that's the thing that I want to emphasize, right? You probably want the recommendations, once again, find something that this gap can be as low as possible. And yeah, so with that, I hope you guys really, you know, have an enjoyable weekend. I hope this topic will be useful. I'll be talking about episode 2. I'll be talking about part 2, part 3, part 4 again, but this is not like every week like that. It will be a different parts of it, right? So thank you so much and hope you guys like this video. Give me more likes. I've seen a lot of people giving me a lot of likes and help me to share. Thank you so much. So once again, thank you so much and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Goodbye.